Okay, hi, it's Adekyn one more time. This is part 3 of our Siege of Napata walkthrough, and you can see we've got our Senate now that we're building. And I did want to take a moment to explain the Senate. A very powerful building, particularly if you use authority a lot. It generates a bunch of authority, and it also sets your cap, moves your cap from 200 to 400. Very, very useful if you use a lot of authority. If you'll notice, I will have played this entire mission without using authority once, which actually is shame on me because it's a great way to I think the ones that are great are speeding up research. You take a big long research that you want, like if I really want Praetorians and I didn't want to wait 7 minutes, I could zap it and get it done by using authority, spending money and authority to get it done. The other one is demoralizing a barbarian village. The whole village is demoralized, so you do that right before you attack, and you're fighting against demoralized opponents, which is a huge advantage. You can also use it after you have the Senate and you have the 400 limit to grab a siege weapon and add that to your army, and then zap them once with the siege weapon, which greatly weakens the enemy before you attack. So there's some really great uses for the authority. Buying slaves is another great one. You can buy slaves, and if you need them to, mine your distant mines or that kind of thing, or you could even buy them if it's early enough and you got a long enough game. You could buy the slaves and then put them out on the trade them and make a profit. But now don't only do that when you've got some time left. If you're near the end, you won't recoup your investment by doing that. So okay, so what have we done here? We are getting ready to go on the offensive. You saw the last missing piece of our defense was a fort down there on that, let's call it that southern pass along the river. Now I'm getting ready for war elephants, and I'm going to boost my army significantly. We've managed to get through all this way, which is 4 troops basically, 3 Astati and a Triari, and that's not a huge army when you consider this is a military mission. So we're going to boost our army a lot, and you can see there's one critical thing left to do. If you've been paying attention and thinking about our strategy down there on that river, we've got to build one more fort and make sure that we don't have a vulnerable spot down there that the enemy could get in and start messing up our buildings. So we'll take care of that in just a minute. I feel pretty confident since I've already seen this. I think we will. So now we're starting to queue up our war elephants, and we're going to amass an army that we know is strong enough to take out those barbarian villages out there in the distance. And we're going to use this equestry. We got one equestry because of their speed to run around and capture the trade post for us, and also there's a mine out there, a marble mine we want, so that we can expand and build an even nicer city and build all the fancy stuff, if you will. So we're going to move in and start taking these people out and get rid of these barbarians around us, because that's one of our secondary objectives, is to get rid of all 4 barbarian villages. And we have to export 50 slaves, which is not a problem because you're getting slaves from raising the villages. You can also get slaves, as I said, by spending authority to buy slaves. So we're going to get our 50 slaves and export them. We're going to get rid of the 4 villages and make sure we capture and hold all the milestones. And here's that last piece of our defense, that final choke point, a fort down here. You notice it's big enough to make it so that you're not gonna miss it. There's nobody going to run through that valley without getting hit by the tower and being drawn into a battle, but small enough to be compressed so that the whoever comes in there, any enemy that ventures in there, is going to get hit by a lot of towers. So that's the way we want them. Our equestry is going to pick up one for us. There's our choke point, toward that first village. And here's some guys. These guys probably ventured out because that equestry has gone near them as it's going up to get the point. And I've got my main army kind of marching toward them. And I'm also going around and just making sure I picked up everything. I love this big view. Use the strategic view. I don't know if people use it enough. Obviously I haven't seen you or anyone else play the game, but you got to get back and see the big picture if you really want to do a good job with this. So I'm grouping these guys up. I'm adding this war elephant to my army, and we're going to go attack this village and kind of clean things up. And I'm not going to make you go through all this. We're going to fast forward here in a moment to another piece of the action. But basically the idea is amass a big enough army and just kind of work our way around and take care of the barbarian villages. We got rid of the one already, if you'll recall, at the beginning. And we've got our 3 communities going. We've got our equestrians gone around and done his thing now. See, we've